Hey guys, it's Rick here, and on today's video, we're going to be repairing a water leak on the roof of our Airstream, so stay tuned. All right guys, so before we get started here, what I've done is I went ahead and pre-positioned all of my supplies up here on the roof. So I've got a Phillips head screwdriver. I've got the replacement vents, of course, as well. I've got some rubber gloves to use whenever I'm using the Dicor. Got some denatured alcohol to help kind of clean up the area. Got a rag. Got my Sikaflex 221 as well as my Dicor lap sealant. Some mineral spirits to clean up any other old Dicor that I need to get off of the roof. Some shop towels, caulk gun, as well as the second vent, because I'm going to be replacing both vents on the roof, the one that goes to the black tank and the one that goes to the gray tank. So the other day when I was up here doing some inspection, trying to identify where the leak was coming from, I went ahead and peeled off the old sealant, the old lap sealant from around the vents. And I noticed that there were 7 out of the 8 screws that were screwed into the old vents had cracked the flange. And upon further inspection, it looked like there was water that was seeping in. So I've got some footage of that I'll show you as well. But for today, I've already went ahead and cleaned off the majority of that old sealant. And I just covered it up with some plastic. And then I put some painter's tape over it just in case it rained while I was waiting on these replacement vents to come in. So with that said, we'll go ahead and start the installation of the new vents. As you can see here, just looking on here, you can see where this flange on the old vent has cracked here, 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 and here. So all 4 of these are cracked, as well as you can see that water's been able to intrude into this vent here. On the other vent, there was 3 out of these 4 screws had cracked the flange. So that's why we're gonna go ahead and replace both vents today. So now it's just a simple process of lifting off the old vent. You can see some of the old components. Just know that when you buy the replacement vents, it doesn't come with this gasket or any of these screws, so you want to make sure that you keep those screws handy. I'm going to replace this style of gasket with some butyl tape that'll go underneath this after I clean this up, and then reattach the new vents on here as well. So as you can see, we need to go ahead and finish cleaning up underneath some of this old sealant that was underneath here. Just using a scraper. Okay, you'll see that I'm using a plastic chisel. I didn't want to use a metal chisel on here just for fear of scratching the roof up a bit, but plastic one works pretty well. A few bucks. Okay, as you can see, we got all of the old sealant scraped off, so what we'll do now is we use a little bit of mineral spirits to clean this up. We'll dry it off, use a little bit of rubbing alcohol also to clean it, and then we'll do a dry fit of the new parts. Just a little bit of mineral spirits to kind of clean up any residue that may still be on there. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're just doing a dry fit to make sure that this flange is going to fit on here correctly and that these screw holes are going to line up. Just want to make sure we do that before we start putting any of the adhesive or the sealant in here. So we're just going through a dry fit, which everything looks like it lines up right. Okay, so we just did a dry fit to make sure that the base would line up with the screws. But what we'll do then is we'll go ahead and put the Sikaflex adhesive down We'll put the base on. We'll tighten down the screws with that. We'll take the funnel piece. We'll put some adhesive on this, fit it inside the cap. Put some adhesive on the inside of this cap here, and then we'll just mount it all on there just like that. Once we get it all mounted, then what we'll do is we'll just cover all of this here with the Dicor lap sealant. We'll put some painter's tape down, and then we'll go ahead and seal that on there. Should be done with that first vent, and then we'll move on to the second one. Just getting the screws started right now. We'll go ahead and tighten them down here in a minute. Just want to make sure we don't over tighten because that's really what caused our roof leak in the first place. Someone had over tightened them, cracked the base, and then allowed water to get into the bathroom area. So the Sikaflex is, like I said, more of an adhesive, but also a sealant on the bottom. But we'll go ahead and cover these screws and the base with the Dicor lap sealant after I get everything assembled. All right, so we got the adhesive around the base. We'll just go ahead and put the cap on. Okay. There we go, done with the first one. We'll come back here after we do the second one and put the Dicor sealant around it. Okay guys, so we got both of the vents mounted, and we've got it all masked off, so we're ready now to put on the Dicor lap sealant and call this project complete. Okay, so we got the Dicor lap sealant all the way around the base of the vent. So this Dicor, it'll skim over in about 5 minutes. It will be waterproof in about 4 hours. It'll be about 80% cured in 48 hours, but it can take up to a month, 30 days, for it to be 100% cured. So now that we've got it all laid down, we're gonna go ahead and peel up our masking tape, and hopefully it'll leave us a relatively nice clean edge. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my rubber glove here with a little bit of mineral spirits, and I should be able to pull that down and get a little bit better seal right there without getting it too messy on my fingers. So just a little trick, if you're ever having to use this Dicor, make sure you've got some mineral spirits on hand, because it really works well with allowing you to smooth that out and get a good seal on there, and it doesn't hinder the cure of the lap sealant. All right guys, so that's going to do it for today's video.
3 days later.
Hey guys, just want to give you a quick update. It's been raining the last 2 days, but it looks like our repairs on the roof of the Airstream were a success. Don't have any leaks inside, so I think we're going to give it a thumbs up. So again, thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, and we'll see you down the road.